Thank you. Yes, Frank.
Mr. Kingman, can you tell us how much this 3.5 pound report cost us, the association?
Can I tell you how much?
Yeah, could you give some?
I have no idea how much it weighs. If you weighed it, that's more than I could say. How much it cost? How much did it cost to make copies of?
No, I mean just to generate. I mean your time.
I haven't done those calculations. I don't know. You're a director. You're free to go to the legal bills anytime you
No,
want.
but I'm
and do
asking at
those
this time you
calculations.
probably haven't billed it yet, so you don't know. If you're telling me you haven't billed it, so you don't know how much
I don't.
time. You haven't added it up yet.
No.
Any more questions? Next issue on our agenda.
There's more questions. I just like to let the unit owners know that this is, for me, it's my third investigation. I'm included in this report here, and I'm included in this report. And I'd like to let the owners know that even though Mr. Kingman didn't bring my name up specifically, my name comes up in here, and I'm being investigated for the third time. I just want all the owners to know that the things that I'm accused of doing in this report, I have not done. I will welcome an independent investigation by an independent attorney, as it was done by the previous, for the previous 2 investigations against me, which, by the way, can you please correct me if I'm wrong? I was found innocent of both investigations.
Who should correct you? Who should correct you?
If in case I'm making a misstatement, whoever may have.
Nobody has seen any reports, so if you say so, we believe you.
I'm talking about the other reports.
I know. Did anybody see it?
Nobody said you saw it. Nobody said you saw it.
So if you
the
say
investigation was
so,
conducted,
if you say so,
and you were
we believe
told,
you.
you were told by. I'm speaking. Point of order. Point of order.
Unfortunately,
Point of order. You were told by the attorney that there was no wrongdoing on my part. That's what I'm trying to say. This is the third investigation, and I thought it would be interesting to know, for the owners to know how much this is costing us. My opinion, this is another witch hunt, and as far as I'm concerned, in regards to this concerns my units, alleged improprieties on my part. I have bent over backwards in being patient to address my issues, to the point where I could no longer take it. I had to go in 2008 to the health department to address the issue regarding the roof. This is my file for the roof. Mr. Lerner says that he is the most vocal to address the roof. I'd like to see your file. I think you shouldn't even bother looking for it. You don't have a file. I waited a long time. I had to go to the health department for them to address this issue. So anything that was done in my unit and repairs to the roof, which is a common element, I did with care, not broken any rules, and I've seen this report. It alleges things that, I mean, I can't believe what's being alleged in here. As you recall, Mr. Kingman, when you came as our legal counsel, you invited the board members to speak with you, to have a meeting with you. So we ended up going to a local restaurant, and I was so uncomfortable with that. I asked you if it was proper for you to even buy us lunch. So the things that you're alleging in here, I'm like, please. But I will welcome an investigation by an outside counsel, like the first one, like my first investigation, who was brought in by a previous counsel. It's not done by a governance committee. It's not done by our legal counsel, an independent counsel. And in regards to, I think this is also regards to the punitive order to close the garage. The last meeting, I tried to, Mr. Lerner asked me to bring in information regarding me bringing up the fact that the board was more interested in doing garage automation than addressing the more serious issues of a sprinkler system, fire safety in the elevators, That was at the August 20th meeting, and it's in those minutes. So I'm just bringing that up. And the punitive order, I think, belongs on Mr. Lerner's feet. It's absolutely his responsibility. He's not taking responsibility for it, but he's trying to blame another director who has nothing to do with it. I did speak with town officials, and they did state to me that the director that you're accusing had no impact in the state coming in and giving us this punitive order to close the garage. So I'd like to make that clear. And again, I asked for Mr. Lerner's resignation at September 10th meeting after we got the punitive order. I'll ask it again. I think you should resign. And I never voted for you to be president. I don't think you have I just don't think you're the right person to be president, to lead this association. You're not taking care of addressing the serious issues. You were very quick to take credit for saving money on insurance premiums. That Ms. Tokay saved us $90,000. Because she's the one.
What is your friend?
This is my last point.
Stay with the issue.
This is the issue.
Frank,
that you don't
please.
take responsibility for
I know
your actions.
you love to me. I know that it's.
No.
You love me
I'm
dearly.
talking about issues. Can I finish?
We're speaking about this report at this particular
This is part
time.
of the issue.
No, this is not. Director Tokay will speak if Director Tokay chooses any other director.
But I'm making an observation.
I understand.
You did,
I understand.
That you didn't even want to give credit.
You know that. You know that you love me dearly. No, you cannot, because you are not on the subject.
I am on the subject.
If you want to speak on the subject of the report, please continue. Outside of the report, you're not recognized. Sorry.
I was recognized.
No.
Well, I made my
Stay
point.
with. You made your point. Thank you very much.
Gail.
Yes, Gail, please.
I just wanted to state to the homeowners that this is a very big report, as I think Frank or Mr. Kingman showed you. And most of it, as Mr. Kingman explained, of what's in there cannot be seen by unit owners. But I do want to say that most of this is about the fire safety issue and not about Mr. Lungo. There is a report about Mr. Lungo in there. It is at the end of the initial report. There is some sort of a link up, but it's mostly about fire safety issues. This whole report, and just in case from Mr. Lungo's speech, you might think that
Gail, let's
it's not.
Mr. Kingman handle this issue, please. Yes, Barbara.
Okay.
All right. I want to thank you, Franco, for taking my part in this. I had to put up with several months of being accused of somehow causing the local fire official to issue the punitive order to close the garage. That is totally ridiculous, and I am glad now to see this report in writing, because this report is not complete. It is incomplete. It is not supported by evidence. The evidence has been carefully cherry-picked to support the desired conclusion, whereas the evidence that is available to all directors and to Mr. Kingman, indeed, some of this evidence comes from Mr. Kingman's emails that are not included in here, support another conclusion. And I would like to second Franco's idea of an independent investigation, because it is extremely counterproductive for directors to be repetitively investigated for nonsense. I don't know how much it costs to put together this thing. I assume that copies have been made for every director, and it is huge. It is over 3 pounds. 2 pounds, more than 2 pounds of public records, which is a waste. Most of them so poorly Xeroxed you can't even tell what they are. However, I have read all of these records, and I have distributed a great deal of these records to the board over the past 2 years. I have been constantly asking everyone on the board, in management, questions about fire safety, which happens to be one of the things I am most concerned about at this property because of our history here. And to be accused, as I have been, doing something I had nothing to do with, when I know full well where the responsibility lies, is really too much to bear. So yes, I want this entire report put out as is, or I want an independent investigation.